Welcome back to the Smugsy Show. I'm Smugsy, your host. Every Wednesday we meet here to talk about important things and important people. This week the show is about the high cost of free speech, plus lone wolves and why we, they, you might be attracted to Barstool Sports. But first, a word from our sponsor, Smug Ciggies, sleek and elegant joint ciggies made with organic cannabis, rolled in all natural, locally sourced paper. Look for Smug Ciggies in the pretty indigo and marigold bags. Well, last week I told you about being canceled by Greg for having radical ideas in a wildly successful column. And this week, why is that relevant? Well, essentially, I was the Liz Cheney for Democrats. Okay, you know, Liz Cheney, the Republican congresswoman who's been in the news for running the hearings on Donald Trump. Well, she lost her Republican primary in Wyoming yesterday, really for stating publicly two facts. One, the emperor, Donald Trump, has no clothes, and two, the election wasn't stolen. Well, she was hung out to dry by Wyoming primary voters yesterday, but who knows, we might see her on a presidential ticket. So what does that have to do with me and Greg and Smugsy? Well, as I said, for basically standing up to the Democratic Party and challenging some of the woke cancel culture. I was canceled. And, I said, be binary and proud, okay? And there's a reason that's, I think, really sort of esoteric and philosophical. The most controversial, though, is this coming out is obsolete. That's in my view, okay? You heard it here first. Okay, this coming out of LGBTQ friends, yeah, skip it. Save your family the drama. Save yourself the drama. Now with gay marriage, with marriage equality, you don't need to. It's like wearing, it's like wearing ankle warmers. Who does that? Nobody. So until you put a ring on it, spare your family the drama. So I was canceled by Greg, a nice guy. A nice guy. I like Greg, but he was born with congenital mediocrity. Yeah, everything is on a spectrum, everything, right? And he, on the spectrum of being like brainwashed, brain dead, he's stage 4. He had like woke deadness. You've heard of Walking Dead? This is woke dead. It's, whatever. He, really somebody should have pulled the plug on him, but instead he pulled the plug on my keyboard, if you want to take that metaphor a little bit further. So what he said was, I don't have the bandwidth to work with you. Those are his quotes. So, like I said, stage 4, woke dead. So I was canceled, and this gets to part 2 of the show, okay? Part 1, the high cost of free speech. Okay, Liz Cheney spoke out against Donald Trump and lost her election. I spoke out against the woke mob and was canceled. But part 2 is lone wolves and why we fight. And here's the thing, is once I was canceled, I was like, okay, so now suddenly I'm nobody. But so where does nobody go to be somebody? And that's when I was introduced to Barstool Sports, where really everybody is nobody, but there's a critical mass. And the Kirk Minihane show in particular. And if you watch today's Dave Portnoy and Eddie and Company show, okay, Kirk Minihane was described by Dave Portnoy as a lone wolf. And a word about lone wolves, because they're misunderstood. Okay, you think of lone wolf, you think of like active shooter, okay, loner, outsider. Well, in nature, a lone wolf is not a outsider or a weirdo. It's actually doing God's work, okay? Diversifying the pack. The lone wolf goes off to dispense, okay, that's the word, dispense, and soon become the leader of his own pack, or in some cases, her own pack. So this lone wolf, while he is the lone wolf, is actually stronger than the wolves in the pack because he has to do everything on his own. So if you're a lone wolf, then A, doing God's work, B, strong, if you know what I mean. So lone wolves are misunderstood, and so really, so is Smugsy, so am I, and that's why there was a connection there. Because first of all, I was the Barstool cougar, the lone wolf, now the New England cottontail. There's a lot of animal metaphors that people don't get, but it all comes together nicely. Like the lone wolf leaves the wolf pack to diversify and, survival of the fittest, really perpetuate the species. Well, the lone wolf, when it comes to voice and opinion, as a columnist with radical ideas, fighting against the woke cancel culture, I was canceled, but became the lone wolf with these ideas. And the idea to diversify the public discourse is what I'm getting at, is that the lone wolf in my world is, speak up, speak out. And the New England Cottontail rabbit is the reason why the New England Cottontail is the mascot of the show, of the Smugsy Show, is because, like lone wolves, like nobodies who have a voice, have a radical notion of what's around the corner, who have the courage of their convictions. This is an endangered species like the New England Cottontail, the only native bunny in New England. Okay, does that remind you of somebody? And the New England Cottontail likes to live in the thicket, and let's face it, warriors, people who like to bat around ideas, people who aren't afraid of debate, we like to live in the thicket of intellectual stimulation, That's where I like to, So, like making a killing on OnlyFans, that was an idea I had like last year. Who do you think paid for all this? Not afraid to tangle in the thicket, and inspired by Vladimir Zelensky. That's the inspiration of this show. The inspiration, I think, of lone wolves everywhere is the example of heroism that we see in the leader of Ukraine, who's fighting for democracy and freedom of expression. That's what we do here every week. I know, it's crazy. Present new ideas. Keep fighting for free speech and fight. Like, speaking of fighting, this rough and rowdy, this is a huge metaphor, I think. The rough and rowdy that Barstool Sports sponsors. Now we're going to have a fight on Saturday between Alex, Jordan, and Cupcake, and I'm for Cupcake. I am a little conflicted because of Content Kim. I feel somewhat obligated as a mom to support Alex, but in this one, I'm a huge Cupcake fan. But I'm a little, I must say, I have a little bit of agita when I think about Kirk Minihane being the mouthpiece for Cupcake and Stu Feiner being the mouthpiece for Alex Bennett. It almost makes me want to throw up a little bit. It's going to be, it's going to be nasty, I think. But I can't wait to see the ring girls. Holsteins. So I see around the corner here a little bit of a lone wolf, certainly a nobody, but happy to be a nobody where nobodies can be somebody. And my prediction is Alex Bennett drops Jordan like a hot potato. You saw it on the Barstool Dave Portnoy show. Has talent head and heels over Jordan. That's not going to go over good, but whatever. For that, I'll be People will hate me for saying that. Okay, why? Well, I'm the mean girl, right? Because I point out the obvious that, Alex Bennett is... She's going to drop Jordan. She betrayed Kirk. Wait till she really is the mean girl. So, yeah, lots to look forward to and lots to keep fighting for. Subscribe to the show, leave a comment, and till next time, this is Smugsy Girl signing off. Take care.